shop.
Oh, really?
And we're live.
Like it's about balance, right?
Or he's trying
We're
to,
live. We're live.
he's trying to get broke. He's trying to.
Speaking of bodybuilders and donuts, Andrew Maggio, everybody.
Yeah, I mean, like, look at, oh my gosh, these are like bright blue, the color is short.
That's me. He's a bright boy. Blue. I like blue. Colors are weird. What's your favorite color, Claire?
Probably black.
Black, that's what I was gonna say. Black.
The absence of
You're the best, Claire.
I'm just a reflection.
Mirrors.
she really is.
She's dead.
You're so excited. Claire knows how to talk to me. What's your favorite color, Mike?
Probably blue.
Mo?
Purple.
Perps? Jay?
Blue, I'd say.
And Mark?
I've been partial to brown.
Hunter
recently.
green.
Hunter green? Ooh, I like that dark green. Ashley?
Oh, I'm with Claire.
Black. Ansel?
I like green as well.
Green?
I like to be on a island of my own.
I'm noticing my favorite color changes.
Mhm.
And it, you guys know I'm kind of a weirdo. It makes me feel like, why do we like one color more than the other?
Good morning, Angela. What's your favorite color? Oh, royal blue and purple is Angela's.
What makes a color your favorite color? What makes you then say, no, now this one's my favorite color?
It's how it makes me feel, Andrew.
Feelings, emotions.
Yeah.
All right, we'll start the meeting now. I brought nothing as far as notes go, because there's just a couple things that I want to talk about, and then I want to get going. We are going to be challenged come the first of the year. The powers that be have given me a pretty big task, and that task is essentially to take everything we've learned so far and put together the perfect world. And what would it be, and what would it take, and what does it look like, and how does it work? And I got a pretty big imagination. So what I'm going to bring to them is going to be colorful. Okay? Now, when I bring them this colorful information, there's going to be some action. And I know what the action is that is desired. The action that's desired is, Andrew, we want to be at 100 agents in June. 100. What do we need? How do we need it to get there? So I'm learning a lot from a lot of people. But I tell you what will hurt us is if the people in this room and the people that aren't here right now or at home aren't ready and doing their best, aren't prepared killers to lead, right? Not a group that we have to have. You guys, a lot of you guys are still new and getting this, so don't take this as right now we still need it. But coming in and to getting through the back part of January, everybody in this room and everybody that's listening, we got to know you got it, right? Every call, every time. Now, that comes with learning the information, right? And the information's there. We know where it's at, right? We've been through training. We know where to find it. If we have questions, we ask. If we don't know, we get the answer. But the process has to be a part of our life, right? Building rapport has to be just what we do every time. And even if it's not going to go, understanding the non-tangibles of this thing, and it's not always easy for me to communicate. I do my best to be as creative to connect the dots as possible. But if you're not having a great day, things aren't going your way, and you just kind of let one go, guys, you're putting yourself in line for something you shouldn't get. The next hello that comes to you shouldn't be your hello. Had we done everything that we're supposed to do, maybe we only lasted 2 minutes longer in that call than we did before we let it go. But the hello we get next is the one we're supposed to get. It builds a rhythm. It builds alignment. Now, I don't want to talk too much about even the process today, because here's something that'll beat you before you even start. Bringing in what's out there into here. Okay? And I do not mean to be unsympathetic about anybody's plight, anybody's journey. Yeah, I've been in some spots in my life where I couldn't believe what, I told you guys the day that my truck got stolen, I lost my public speaking job, and my girlfriend at the time handed me a pregnancy test that said, woohoo. Oh yeah, that was my 25th birthday, by the way. That was before 10 o'clock in the morning. What am I, It's happened a couple more times. It's happened to all of us, right? One way or the other, because it's all perspective. And it's all relative. You think money, who's got money? Money will make things easier, but what makes it easier is the way that we act and conduct ourselves to get to a point where we create that abundance that's coming in. The money's there, yeah, but that didn't poof. That happened because you did a thing. And you did it a certain way for a certain amount of time that created that abundance. Now, the money starts to come and you take your foot off the gas and it's going to stop coming. You're going to find yourself circling back around, right? And those circles keep coming until we learn the lesson, until we grow, until we get better. So I'll tell you guys, I can't tell anybody in here personally what to do about anything personal in their life. So quite frankly, I don't even know what's going on. I just want you guys to know that it is something that can hurt you when you walk in the door. So I want to talk about my experience with that and what I did in those moments where I felt like I was laying on the ground with nothing and everything was so far away. A smile seemed way off in the distance, let alone finding another job, working, a place to live, moved back in with my mom when I came. It was like, what's going on? Will I ever get out from under this feeling? So, what I did every time I felt that at various times is had a pity party for myself. You know how long that lasted? That lasted about a half a day. And then I said, what are you, come on. You're the best. You're the greatest. Greatness, man. What would greatness do? What are you going to do? And I get fired up. And I get pissed off. And then I go back at it with everything that I got. And I realized that although that helped me get going, that wasn't the long-term answer. Because one can only do that for so long before they start to... And I felt for a long time like I had to carry the whole world on my shoulders for everybody all the time. And if I could do that, and if I could make more money, then the other things would just be wonderful. If I could get the thing that I thought the person that I loved or cared for wanted. They didn't want that. They wanted me to be the best for me. So I used my imagination because, guys, you still have one. All right? It's that thing that we talk about with the kids. You still have one. Dust it off. Every time I walked through the doorway of a place that I worked, I pictured in my mind that it was magic. Magic doorway. And when I walked through it, everything heavy, everything that doesn't serve me for my purpose that day, fell off and was outside that door, all over the floor, sitting there. And I go into that day doing the best that I could do to move forward. Because money doesn't solve problems, but it makes stuff easier. It makes stuff easier. And you know what happened? Every time that I walked out of that door, guess what? All that shit was still sitting there on the floor. Nobody picked it up. Nobody stole my stuff. It was still sitting right there for me to pick back up again and take with me to work through and to figure out. And here comes oversimplification time. Remember the asterisks we talked about on Friday with oversimplification, right? Oh, when I make a comment that seems overly simplified, it comes with an asterisk that says we're doing all the things that we need to do, right? Everything that's expected, process, all this different stuff, right? When it got to the point where I couldn't even walk through the doorway because the stuff knew it was going to fall off me. So it was like holding me down. Don't go. The only thing that I had that I could combat it with in the present moment when I felt like the walls were closing in was enthusiasm and effort and adding value to someone else's day. That was it. And then I said, I can do that next thing, next interaction, next whatever. I can do that. And then I'm going to do it again. And then I'm going to do it again. So when I went from speaking in front of 200 people at a time, making more money than a 25-year-old should ever make, by the way, not saving any of it, coming home and buying everyone floor seats to the Magic game, $700 bar tabs on like a 2-hour visit. How does that happen? Happens when you're a 25-year-old idiot. But I thought that was forever. And then in a day, that was gone. And I'm within 2 weeks, I'm living with my mom with a pregnant girlfriend who I really, I was excited because and I'm working at a call center. Budget savers for $1, 60-second pitch over and over and over. And I said, the only thing I know how to do is to come in here every day with energy and enthusiasm, add value to someone else's day, play games with myself in regards to, and this is for me, this isn't necessarily, but the way I went through it to occupy myself was, who's the best? I'm coming for you, right? It made it a challenge to myself to not be second best at anything. Whatever I was doing, I wanted to be the best at doing it right then. Now, energy and enthusiasm will take you a long way, okay? And we're working on ways to show you guys this more and more, but there's a billion things that we're trying to do both to prepare for the now, for what comes next, to serve you guys, to help you understand and learn. Friday's meeting, I was a little bit fired up, right? We got after it pretty good in here. And I don't know what kind of impact that had on anybody individually. It doesn't come out of me that way very often unless, well, if you were my basketball teams, you heard it a lot. But other than that, that doesn't happen a whole lot. Mo, you've been around a while. I mean, how often do I get that fired up? Well, and I'm not saying this is because of that meeting. But what I felt when you guys walked out of here was a little bit of this, right? I walked out and I did a lap, had to go take care of some biz, and I walked by Travis and I said, "Woo, who the hell are you?" Because I hadn't heard him pitching like this. I heard Mike, and Mike was like kind of getting into his call a little bit. I felt an energy and an enthusiasm on the calls that I've been missing out there. And that's not something, that's a choice that we make or we don't make. And sure enough, 4 of us closed the first call we had. First call we were, maybe it was the second, but it was in the first 2.5 hours that 4 of us had a policy on the board. I'm not saying it was because of that meeting. I'm saying it's because whatever happened in that morning, when you went out there, you were talking and pitching like it mattered. Like you knew that if you didn't execute the process, you weren't serving that other person. How much differently, what kind of effort, what kind of magic would you pull out of your butt if you knew for certain the person you were talking to on the line is going to pass away tomorrow? Not trying to be morbid. But they don't know what they don't know. That's what we get to do. And we get to do that every day. We talked about closing the emotional loop. Don't open yourself up to what I just said in a way that makes you scared or nervous. Control what you can control. And what you can control is being the best on every single call. Sounding the best on every single call. Enunciating and pronunciating. Using your voice inflection, tonality. Doing the things that involve zero sales talent. If we do those on every call, guys, if somebody is having a hard time and says, listen to a few of my calls, first, I'm going to say, Mo, listen to a few of their calls. Because the only thing that can really drive me insane is when we aren't maybe doing what we want to do, and then I sit and take time and start listening to calls, and it's just, there's no praise. There's no smile. There's no feeling. It's just great. Okay. And you can sound really good with your so good that people will listen to you. All the way up until you ask them for money. Click. Oh, I don't have it. Oh, I need to talk to somebody. Right? And that's a tough one. Right? To sound so good, but to not have any rhythm, not have any breaking it up, not be engaging, not be actively listening, and get to that point where you're 45 minutes in, 50 minutes in, and you're getting those hang-ups. That's demoralizing. Right? So today, this week, next week, a little bit weird, right? With the holidays and the different stuff going on, all the different feelings and emotions that are out there. Use this time to sharpen your sword. Whatever it is that you need. And whatever you need, if it's within our ability to give it to you, we will do it. And I promise you, I fall short every single day. I miss things I shouldn't miss. I know it. But I say, all right, man, come, keep going. Best, as hard as you can, the best you can. So, if there is something, if you believe there's something anything, sometimes changing your desk can switch. I don't know. I don't know what it is for you. But I know it's in front of us to do. I know what I'm getting ready to do for us is going to be taking a leap of faith. And that leap of faith isn't in the final expense market. I know what's there. I know what can be done. The leap of faith is going to be, are we great enough? Are we getting better every day? Are we understanding that it's us all the time, no matter what? Where's the lesson for me? So that when we get everything that we want, we're ready for what comes next. Right? Because the only danger with getting everything that you want is getting everything that you want. Because then what do you do? Right? We don't think about that enough. Get a little chills when I say that. This is important. What you guys are going to do is be wealthy, be leaders, be the ones that when we are hiring and implementing some different things that we're working on are going to be the ones that lead the way and teach all the other people. But first, we got to get it done, right? We got to get it done every day. So if there's a thing that you need, let us know. If it's within our power to do it, I will do cartwheels and jump around, do anything I can do to help you guys. Greatness is a choice, right? It's the next 10 seconds. Present. Yes? What else? What else? I'm feeling very somber energy. Am I depressing you? Am I being depressing?
No.
Let's, who's got a joke? Let's get a joke. Anybody? Angela's hilarious. Angela, you got any jokes? No. Anybody?
No.
Knock, knock.
Yeah. Oh, who's there?
Jesus Christ. Yeah. It's not a real door.
Yeah. I've never been good with jokes. All right. Next meeting, everyone bring a joke. And if you forget, I'll have some on deck. 11 benevolent elephants How warmed up you feeling?
Mm.
Ah, all right. It's your tool. Your voice is your tool. All right. I want to find those calls from last Friday. If I hear you, who the hell's that? We're playing side by side. You're like, that's me? Yeah, same person.
Play mine.
And you're the best. Just make the decision to be the best. No one can say no to you if you decide they're not going to say no to you.
Yeah.
So let's make the decision, yes?
Yeah.
You got greatness in your heart?
Let it out.
Let's go. Let's go.
If you are at home, stand up, make a circle, go out of your room, and then come back in, and then get started. Shake it off, shake it up. Let's get going. Miss you too, and see you soon, but not soon enough.
Yeah, I guess it's like coach or something.
Sports ball?
Yeah.
Go sports.